complete picture. This is exactly contrary to the third angel's message. Third angel's message says you have faith in Jesus and you keep His commandments. This system says all you need is to profess faith in Jesus, or you don't have to keep the commandments. Or keep the commandments, but you don't have to have faith in Jesus. In other words, it's a system that appeals to the desires and to the wants of most everybody in the world, because people would love to have their cake and eat it too. And that's exactly what this is talking about. Now, do you know that towards the end of human history, the message of the second angel is going to be proclaimed again with power? And I believe that now we have arrived at that time. The second angel's message basically proclaimed that Babylon was fallen. We read it in Revelation 14, verse 8. But the Bible tells us that very close to the close of probation, this message is going to be proclaimed again. And there are going to be some additional things said when the message is proclaimed again. Now let me say that the three angels' messages began to be proclaimed around the year 1844. You know, people arose that began proclaiming all of the things that are in the three angels' messages. But at the end of time, these messages are going to be proclaimed again to the world in power. I'd like you to notice how the Bible describes this warning. And before we read it in Revelation chapter 18, verses 1 through 5, allow me to tell you that this passage that we're going to read is in a very special context. If you look at what comes immediately before Revelation 18, 1 through 5, you're going to find Revelation 17. There it speaks about the harlot sitting on many waters. She's controlling the nations of the world. She fornicates with the kings of the earth. She's clothed in purple and scarlet, and she has decked with gold and silver and precious stones. And everything's going well. Her and the kings of the earth are all on the same page. Her daughters do what she says. The kings of the earth do what she says. The multitudes upon whom she sits do her biddings. Everything is going well. But then there's this pesky group who are the fly in the ointment, the feather rufflers, who are actually saying that this system is fallen and that people need to come out from this system. You see, Revelation 17 presents the harlot and her dominion over the earth, which is the same as the beast and his dominion over the earth. Revelation chapter 18 says, when this time comes, make sure you're not in this system. It's an end time warning because the plagues are going to fall on this system. Now, the interesting thing is that immediately before you have Revelation 17, which is speaking about the condemnation of the harlot at the very end of time, when God's wrath falls upon the harlot, her daughters and the kings. Immediately after, listen to this, immediately after Revelation 18, 1 through 5, you have the description of the fall of Babylon. You see, she had illicit relations not only with the kings of the earth, but also with the merchants of the earth. In other words, she controlled the commercial transactions of the earth. And you read those verses, and it speaks about the fall of Babylon from a commercial perspective. Revelation 17 speaks about the fall of Babylon from a religious and political perspective.